Welcome to the Shadows of Georgia. Welcome, dear viewers, to another spine-tingling episode of Your Channel Name, where we delve deep into the mysteries and horrors that lie just beyond our everyday reality. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the chilling tales we uncover each week. And if you're a returning fan, thank you for joining us again as we venture further into the dark corners of history and legend. Today, we're setting foot in one of America's most historically rich yet hauntingly eerie states, Georgia. Known for its lush landscapes, antebellum architecture, and pivotal role in American history, Georgia is also home to some of the most unsettling stories ever told. Beneath its serene surface lies an undercurrent of supernatural energy, whispered about by locals and investigated by paranormal enthusiasts from around the globe. From Civil War battlefields to abandoned prisons, this state has more than its fair share of ghostly legends, and tonight, we'll explore them all. So grab your favorite blanket, you might need it, dim the lights, and prepare yourself for a journey through time and terror. By the end of this video, you'll have heard tales that will make your skin crawl and leave you questioning what lurks just outside your line of sight. Are you ready? Let's dive into the top most haunted places in Georgia. The Sorrel-Weed House, Savannah's crown jewel of horror. Nestled in the heart of Savannah's historic district, the Sorrel-Weed House stands as a testament to Southern grandeur, but beneath its stately facade lies a labyrinth of tragedy and spectral unrest. Built in 1840 for Francis Sorrel, a wealthy cotton merchant, this Greek Revival mansion quickly became one of the city's most prestigious residences. However, its opulence masks a dark past riddled with betrayal, murder, and suicide, making it one of Georgia's most infamous haunted locations. At the center of these chilling tales is Matilda Sorrel, Francis' wife, whose life ended in heartbreaking fashion. According to local lore, Matilda discovered her husband's affair with their maid, Molly, and confronted him in a fit of rage. In despair, she took her own life by leaping from an upstairs window onto the cobblestone street below. Her spirit is said to haunt the house to this day, often appearing as a sorrowful apparition clad in flowing white robes. Visitors frequently report feeling overwhelming waves of sadness while standing near the site of her tragic death, accompanied by faint whispers pleading for forgiveness. But Matilda isn't alone in her eternal vigil. Molly, the ill-fated maid, met an equally grim fate when she was allegedly murdered by Francis' jealous mistress-turned-wife after Matilda's passing. Employees and tour guides recount eerie encounters with Molly's restless spirit, describing cold spots forming near the kitchen hearth and disembodied sobs echoing through the servants' quarters. Some claim to see her shadowy figure scrubbing floors or lighting candles late at night, as though trying to complete chores interrupted centuries ago. The basement of the Sorrel-Weed House harbors even darker secrets. Paranormal investigators exploring the space have documented chilling phenomena, including sudden drops in temperature, unexplained footsteps reverberating through empty halls, and disembodied voices shouting angrily in languages unfamiliar to modern ears. One particularly unnerving account involves a team capturing footage of a translucent figure crouched in a corner, its hollow eyes staring blankly into the camera lens before vanishing entirely. Even casual visitors aren't immune to the house's haunting influence. Tourists recount seeing glowing orbs floating near the staircase railing, hearing faint laughter emanating from empty rooms, or feeling icy hands brushing against their shoulders without warning. A few brave souls have attempted to communicate with these spirits using Ouija boards or EVP devices, only to receive cryptic responses hinting at jealousy, rage, and unresolved guilt. Despite, or perhaps because of, its ghostly reputation, the Sorrel-Weed House continues to attract curious visitors eager to experience its supernatural allure firsthand. Whether it's Matilda's mournful presence lingering in the upper chambers or Molly's tormented soul trapped in the shadows below, there's no denying that this historic mansion holds secrets too profound, and too terrifying, to remain buried forever. Moon River Brewing Company, Spirits Among the Suds in the heart of Savannah, Georgia. Moon River Brewing Company offers patrons not only craft beers but also a side of spine-chilling history. Housed in the 19th century City Hotel building, which later became a bank, this brewery is widely regarded as one of the most haunted places in the state. Its storied past includes everything from duels fought over honor to brutal murders committed in drunken brawls, leaving behind echoes of violence that continue to resonate within its walls. One of the most persistent legends revolves around James Stark, a gambler who frequented the establishment during its days as a hotel. Known for his fiery temper and penchant for trouble, Stark reportedly died in a knife fight inside the building. His spirit is said to roam the brewery's second floor, where he was last seen alive. Employees describe encountering a man dressed in period clothing pacing back and forth along the balcony, muttering curses under his breath. Others claim to feel sudden gusts of wind accompanying his appearance, despite the absence of open windows or doors nearby. The basement, now used for storage, serves as another hotspot for paranormal activity. This area once housed the morgue during the building's tenure as a hospital during the Civil War. Maintenance workers tasked with organizing supplies often report tools going missing, machinery malfunctioning, and inexplicable injuries occurring shortly after entering the dimly lit chamber. Some believe these disturbances stem from the restless spirits of soldiers and civilians whose bodies were stored there, awaiting burial. Professional paranormal teams investigating Moon River Brewing Company have captured compelling evidence supporting these claims. Thermal cameras revealed cold spots forming near specific kegs, while audio recorders picked up clear EVPs of voices speaking in hushed tones about pain and suffering. One investigator described capturing footage of a handprint appearing momentarily on a freshly polished bar counter, only to vanish seconds later. For those brave enough to visit the brewery after dark, encounters with the unknown are not uncommon. Patrons recount seeing glowing eyes peering at them from behind barrels, feeling sudden weight on their laps despite being seated alone, or experiencing vivid dreams involving Stark urging them to finish the game. While skeptics dismiss these stories as mere figments of imagination, the sheer volume of eyewitness accounts paints a chilling picture of a place where revelry and retribution intersect in ways both intoxicating and terrifying. Moon River Brewing Company serves as a reminder that even the most convivial settings can carry echoes of the past, resonating with energies far beyond human understanding. As you sip your pint amidst the lively crowd, take a moment to appreciate the ambience. But don't forget to glance over your shoulder. You never know who, or what, might be watching. The Marshall House, echoes of war and loss tucked away in Savannah's historic district. The Marshall House is a striking example of 19th century elegance. With its wrought iron balconies and classic southern charm, it draws visitors from around the world seeking comfort and history. But behind the warm smiles and vintage decor lies a truth far more chilling. The Marshall House is one of Georgia's most haunted locations, echoing with the cries of soldiers, nurses, and restless souls whose stories were never finished. Built in 1851, the Marshall House was originally a luxury hotel, offering respite for weary travelers and elite guests. But as the Civil War gripped the South in violence and despair, the building's purpose shifted dramatically. In 1864, Union forces occupied Savannah, and the Marshall House was converted into a hospital for wounded soldiers. Its grand halls became operating rooms, and its ornate floors bore witness to unimaginable suffering. Among the spirits said to roam the hotel, none are more persistent than that of Dr. William Taylor, a Union surgeon overwhelmed by the horrors of battlefield medicine. With limited supplies and no anesthesia, Taylor performed amputations and emergency surgeries well into the night. The toll was too much. One bitterly cold evening, as the war raged on, Taylor is said to have taken his own life in room 306. Guests who stay there today often report feeling an oppressive weight on their chest, as though being held down, and waking to whispers of someone softly repeating the word, "Forgive." Housekeepers avoid the room whenever possible, and one even quit on the spot after seeing a man in a long coat disappear into the wall. Another lingering soul is Sarah, a young nurse who perished in a tragic fire that swept through part of the building in 1864. She is said to walk the second-floor hallway, her footsteps light but deliberate, often accompanied by the scent of lavender, a fragrance she wore to comfort dying soldiers. Guests have described waking in the night to find a woman gently placing a hand on their forehead, only to vanish when they speak. Others have seen her standing at the foot of their bed, her eyes sad, as though still watching over her long-dead patients. But the hauntings are not confined to rooms and corridors. The basement, a low-ceilinged, shadow-drenched space once used for medical storage, radiates a sense of unease. Paranormal investigators have recorded disembodied moans and the unmistakable clinking of surgical tools. Some believe the spirit of a janitor who died in a freak accident decades later still tries to maintain order, slamming doors and turning off lights with angry precision. One maintenance worker swore he heard a voice whisper, "You missed a spot," just before the mop was yanked from his hands. Perhaps the most unnerving reports come from those who experience phantom footsteps marching through the halls at night. These are not random noises. Guests and staff alike have described the clear rhythm of military boots in perfect cadence, echoing through the old wood floors. Some say the sound stops abruptly at the door to the old surgical wing, followed by silence thick enough to raise the hairs on the back of your neck. Professional paranormal teams have captured stunning evidence within the hotel EVPs with phrases like, "Help me, still here," and "Get out," as well as thermal footage showing human-shaped anomalies that defy explanation. One infamous clip shows a shadow figure slipping through a closed door without opening it. The video went viral among paranormal circles and remains a hot topic in ghost hunting forums. Even skeptics find it hard to deny the house's energy. Tourists who know nothing of its history have reported vivid dreams of war, waking with tears in their eyes or the sensation of cold fingers tracing their arms. Children often mention the sad man upstairs, or the lady with no feet, walking through the halls. Their accounts, unprompted and eerily consistent, only deepen the mystery. Whether you're drawn to the Marshall House for its rich history, its southern hospitality, or its chilling legacy, one thing is certain: once you step through its doors, you're never truly alone. The spirits here do not scream or chase, they remember. And through the echoes of war and loss, they invite you to remember too. So if you ever check into the Marshall House, sleep lightly, for the past is always awake. Andersonville Prison Site, suffering beyond death tucked deep within the pine-strewn landscape of Sumter County, Georgia, lies the ghostly shell of one of the Civil War's darkest chapters, Andersonville Prison, officially known as Camp Sumter. Once a Confederate prisoner of war camp, it housed over 45,000 Union soldiers between 1864 and 1865. Nearly 13,000 perished inside its crude, overcrowded walls, victims of starvation, disease, exposure, and despair. Today, the site stands as a National Historic Site and solemn memorial, but for many, Andersonville remains more than just a reminder of the past. It is a place where suffering still echoes, and where restless souls linger long after death. Visitors often speak of an unnatural heaviness settling over them as they step onto the grounds. The atmosphere seems unnervingly still, as though the air itself remembers every cry, every cough, every whispered prayer uttered in desperation. Even on sunny days, shadows stretch long and dark across the fields where prisoners once huddled together for warmth, with only makeshift shelters to shield them from the elements. It is here that many report faint moans drifting on the breeze, or the distant sound of weeping when no one else is around. One of the most persistent legends to emerge from Andersonville is that of Jeremiah, a Union soldier who miraculously survived captivity only to die days after his release from infection and exhaustion. His spirit, it is said, never truly left. Witnesses describe seeing a transparent figure wandering among the rows of white headstones in the nearby cemetery, clutching a torn Bible close to his chest. His face, gaunt, sunken, but peaceful, seems locked in eternal mourning. On misty mornings, some have claimed to hear him softly humming a hymn, the sound fading as they approach. Yet not all the stories offer solace. The reconstructed stockade walls and watchtowers evoke a time of terror, and with them comes an unsettling array of paranormal reports. In what remains of the original guard posts, maintenance crews speak of tools going missing or being hurled across rooms by unseen forces. A few have claimed to be shoved hard by invisible hands. One particularly chilling account involved a worker who spotted a crouched figure in the shadows of the northeast tower. As he approached, the figure turned its head, revealing eyes that glowed a piercing red, before vanishing into the darkness. Another focal point of supernatural activity is the site of the old infirmary. Now little more than a grassy clearing, this was once the last stop for thousands of sick and dying soldiers. Tour guides often share stories of inexplicable cold spots, chairs moving of their own accord, and the scent of burning wood, despite no fire being present. Some claim to feel sudden waves of nausea or sorrow as they near the area, while others speak of invisible hands brushing their arms gently, like the touch of someone in need of comfort. Paranormal investigators who have dared to spend the night within the prison grounds have recorded shocking phenomena. Thermal imaging reveals figures moving where no people are present. EVP sessions capture eerie whispers, pleading voices saying things like, "I'm cold, it hurts," or simply, "Home." One group filmed what appeared to be a faint, shimmering silhouette standing at the entrance to the camp's south gate. It watched them in silence, unmoving, before fading into the night. Even casual visitors sometimes find themselves touched by the strange energy that permeates the site. Children have been known to stop mid-play and point toward empty fields, claiming to see soldier men waving at them or kneeling in prayer. Others have reported hearing what sounds like boots marching across the dry earth, steady, rhythmic steps of a ghostly patrol that never ended its watch. Andersonville is not just a place of memory, it is a place where history breathes, weeps, and whispers. Its haunted landscape bears silent witness to a time of profound human suffering, and for those attuned to the spiritual realm, the past refuses to rest quietly beneath the soil. Whether you're a student of history, a seeker of spirits, or simply someone drawn to places heavy with emotion, Andersonville offers an experience unlike any other. But tread carefully. Here, the veil between the living and the dead is paper thin, and you may leave with more than just a deeper appreciation of history. You may carry with you an echo of pain that time has yet to erase. The Old Candler Hospital, ghosts of healing and pain tucked into Savannah's moss-draped historic district. The Old Candler Hospital stands as a relic of healing and horror. Built in 1804, it was Georgia's first hospital, treating thousands over 2 centuries, including battle-worn Civil War soldiers. But time has turned its sterile halls into echo chambers of grief, making it one of the most notoriously haunted sites in the state. At the heart of its legend lies Room 204, a patient room long sealed off from the public. Former staff whisper that patients housed there would often complain of an unseen presence. Nurses heard footsteps outside the door when no one was there, and more than one patient begged to be moved, claiming a shadowy figure stood silently at the foot of their bed each night. That figure is said to be Evelyn, a nurse who died tragically during the hospital's Reconstruction-era years. Some say she was murdered in a heated dispute over stolen medical supplies, or perhaps something more valuable. Regardless of the truth, her story has fused with the hospital's walls. Those who dare to peer into Room 204 at night report flickering lights, whispering voices, and the cold sensation of a hand gripping their shoulder, only to turn and find no one there. But Room 204 is just the beginning. Beneath the hospital lies its basement, a place even employees avoided. During the Civil War, it served as a temporary morgue, with bodies stacked in dimly lit corners while gunfire thundered outside. Today, it's locked off, but not quiet. Paranormal investigators allowed brief access have captured startling EVPs, chilling cries for help, the rhythmic squeak of gurney wheels, and once, a soft lullaby sung by an invisible voice. One chilling piece of footage shows a hunched figure crouched in the corner of the morgue, its eyes glowing faintly in the infrared lens. The figure never moved. It simply stared, expressionless, until the camera battery abruptly died, despite being fully charged minutes earlier. Upstairs, the spirits seemed more active during the late hours. Security guards have quit after encountering apparitions of doctors from another century. Visitors have reported a man in a tattered Confederate uniform limping through the hallway, only to vanish into thin air. Others have heard the slow, dragging sound of stretchers being wheeled across empty floors. And then there's the Whisper Hall, a stretch of corridor where countless people claim to hear murmured voices just behind their ear. Those who linger too long often leave with splitting headaches, unexplained scratches, or the overwhelming urge to flee. Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted reputation, the Old Candler Hospital attracts thrill seekers, ghost hunters, and skeptics alike. But few leave unchanged. Some say it's the history. Others say it's the spirits who refuse to leave. One thing is certain: within its red brick walls, time has never truly moved on. The past lingers, watching, whispering, waiting. Embrace the shadows as we draw this journey to a close. I hope you've enjoyed our exploration of Georgia's most haunted locales, from the eerie confines of the Sorrel-Weed House to the solemn grounds of Andersonville Prison. Each story we've uncovered serves as a reminder that history doesn't always stay buried. Sometimes, it lingers just out of sight, waiting for those brave enough to listen. If you found these tales as captivating as I did, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share this video with fellow horror enthusiasts, and let us know in the comments which location gave you chills, or if you've experienced something supernatural yourself. Thank you for joining me on this spine-tingling adventure. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and remember, the shadows are always watching.